If taking care of yourself makes you feel calm and relaxed, then these things put you in fight or flight. They are the opposite of self-care. Taking care of yourself and living within your boundaries really looks different for every person. You can't just copy and paste it. Now, of course, there's ideas that we can get and inspiration from others, but what makes me feel relaxed might actually stress you out, and what stresses you out might make me feel relaxed. So this is totally dependent on the person. I know I had a friend one time that would post all of the books she read. She tracked it, and it was like, I want to read 100 books a year, and she had like this chart. It was like this whole thing, and I thought, I would literally give up reading forever if that's what I did. Something that is for sure gonna put you into fight or flight or not really able to enjoy the holiday season is if you focus on the outer instead of the inner. So this is focusing on what random strangers on Instagram are doing. This is what's focusing on what all the parties other people are throwing or inviting you to, or all of the events that are happening. Thinking about all of those things, kind of, it's almost like it makes, if we have like a bubble of safety, if you will, when we're thinking about everything else outside, it's like our bubble expands to fit in all of this stuff, and then it's like we feel a bit gorged, like, ugh, and ugh, I can't do all this. Like, no, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. I hate the holidays. Fast forward. Let's not do that to ourselves. Let's not. So if we need to go offline, go off social media, go off social media. If you need to say no, like I know my church, for example, is having like 8 events in 1 month. I'm not stressed to go to them. Those are going to fit in well for us, but I certainly don't have to. So we don't have to do all of the things just because they're there. And we certainly don't need to do them out of guilt or like with a negative feeling like we're making it happen, because that feels like so icky. And you're not gonna have fun if you do that anyway. You know, the way to stay sort of within your boundaries and feeling peaceful is to focus on the inner. Like, what can we do in our home? Maybe we're actually not gonna go to that party that would require me to buy 7 people new outfits, and then we're gonna have to drive an hour, and then and then I'm gonna make sure the kids aren't fighting while they're there, and then it's like, happy holidays! No, maybe I'm just gonna politely decline and have something at home. So focus on the inner and think now, like, do I really want to do this? So I guess the second thing that you can do to stay out of fight or flight, to stay out of misery, to avoid the kind of boundaryless holiday time is to just literally don't do things you don't want to do, or don't do things you really can't handle doing. I give you permission. You know what? You need a permission? I'll give it to you. I'm over here in Northwest Florida telling you, you don't got to do those things you don't want to do. No, you just don't got to do them. You know, some things we got to do, like, I don't know, making sure the kids eat and go to bed. But some of these extra holiday things, don't do them if you don't want to do them. The first step to living within your boundaries is to get in touch with your God-given instinct and your intuition. I have a whole video on why I think a lot of modern parenting stuff is crushing our intuition. Don't let it. Get back in touch with your intuition. You really aren't even gonna be able to discover what your boundaries are. Now, I talk a lot about discovering your boundaries in my book, If Mama Ain't Happy. Minding healthy boundaries is good for the whole family. But you, in order to find out where your boundary lines lie, you really have to get in touch with your intuition and your instinct. So, and the first way to do that is just don't do things you don't want to do. Don't say yes if you mean no. Don't say no if you mean yes. Don't say maybe if you know you're just going to turn around and say no. It's like ruthless honesty, ruthless realness. Just, you know, I'd love to come, but the thought of it stresses me out so badly because of our schedule. So no, you don't even have to give that much info. But if you want to, if that's the truth, say it, you know, or maybe your spouse is wanting you to do something and wanting everybody to do something. You know, I really just can't do that. You can take the kids and do that, but it's just too much for me right now. No, just no, not gonna do that. That'll actually free you up to have that energy to do the things you want to do. The third way to avoid like an anti-self-care time during the holidays is to stop waiting until the last minute. Just don't wait till the last minute. You know, if you're someone who loves that, fine. But I think most of us don't actually love that, and it creates more stress because the whole time you're waiting to get up to the last minute, you're thinking about all you haven't done. Then it's very stressful at the last minute, and then you're scrambling to get it done. Just do it now. I used to do this funny thing, self-confession, where it was like, if say I was planning a vacation or, you know, I don't know, was buying presents, it was like I didn't want to spend that money now. I wanted to hang on to it now. I feel averse right now to letting go of that money. But later, I'm still gonna have to let go of the money. It might cost more, maybe it costs a teeny bit less, or in some cases, it meant that I couldn't get a ticket to the event I wanted to go to because I waited too long. So if you know you're gonna spend the same amount of money, there's just no point in waiting. You might as well just go ahead and do it. Buy the presents, just get them done. Just wrap them, buy the bags, put them in the bags or the boxes, put them under the tree and be done. Just don't wait until the last minute. Waiting until the last minute, procrastination, it gives you a sense of control, but it actually creates stress in the lead up. And then in a buildup of pressure just doesn't make it worth it. It is not worth it to live your life in fight or flight. I can tell you that our nervous systems get used to living on this high state of alert, and it's exhausting and it's no way to live. So one of the ways that we dial back from that is we just stop waiting until the last minute and we start taking some control now. Another way that I currently do to try to stay out of this nervous energy, and I don't know if you have me, like even my confession that I'm an aggressive vacuumer, like my body was so used to being in fight or flight with nervous energy that it was like I would walk from one hallway to the next super fast. I'm gonna shave that 5 seconds off this walk. That's what I'm gonna do. It's gonna make life better. No, it didn't. It just made me always in a hurry. This feeling of always being in a hurry, it's just sort of icky and it doesn't feel good. So one of the things I've started doing is to walk slowly, be purposeful, take a little bit of extra time. And actually, I guess this is what slow living is like. Just take a little bit more time making a cup of tea. Instead of just trying to do it fast, do it a little slower, sip a little slower. I'm not gonna like chug my drink down. I'm just gonna purposely slow down. And I think as moms, when we're running around after little kids, got a busy life, we just get in this habit where everything is just like grind. It's just perpetually exhausting. So it's almost like we have to press a pause button, or we have to press the slow-mo button on our life to just get our heartbeat in the right spot, you know? I don't know if it's just me. Sometimes I feel like I'm literally over here in the corner like, because if you do each side, it's supposed to be bilateral calming. We don't want to spend our whole holiday in the corner doing breathing exercises. The last thing I'm not gonna do over the holidays, and now I am a strong-willed person, and I went and had 5 kids that are all sort of only children in their strong-willedness, and I know that I did it to them. It's all my fault. And they're very, you know, this is what I'd like to happen, Mom. Mom, have you thought about this? Mom, have you thought about that? Mom, we're out of the dish soap. Mom, you know, realize we don't have any groceries. We should do a grocery run. And this is like my 7-year-olds, you know? So my kids are, I don't know what's happening over here, okay? But sometimes I feel like I'm tossed to and fro by all of their demands or requests. But recently I decided, but I'm sort of done with that. I'm happy for them to share what they want. But I'm not going to just move around based on what everybody else wants in the moment. I'm not going to do it with my kids. I'm not going to do it with my husband. I'm not going to do it with anybody else. I'm not going to just let everybody else's demands or requests or emergencies dictate everything I do. This is a recipe for extreme stress, because it's like, oh, she forgot that, now I gotta do it. Oh, he didn't pick it up. He didn't decide to do it, and now I'm gonna do it. No, sometimes you just gotta let things drop. Just gotta let them drop. You know, that's not gonna happen. Sometimes, and this is a life skill. Now, in a couple of weeks, we're gonna get on life skills. We're gonna get on them, mama. We're gonna do life school at home with our kids. We're gonna do it. I'll tell you more about that. But I've realized it's a life skill I had to learn. Mama had to learn that I'm gonna do whatever I can do that's within my realm of responsibility. And then other than that, I'm just not going to go into everybody else's sphere of responsibility and try to take care of them. I'm not gonna do that. So this holiday, just be thinking, you know, you want to do what you do out of a place of love and happiness and joy. You wanna give cheerfully. You want to love and serve others well. You don't want to sort of be guilted if you don't want to be guilted into doing all these things that you didn't want to do, and then get there and then wish you weren't there and come home and crash, and you didn't even get to do things with your family that were meaningful because you were so busy filling your calendar with other people's priorities. No, we're just not going to do that anymore. We're not going to do that. Be sure to check out my next video on taking care of yourself at home, simple, inexpensive ways that you can do that.